Hello and welcome to week 3 of our ESL classes. So this week we're starting something new in the ESL program. This week what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start posting every single activity. We're going to be recording every single activity on Blackboard for you to be able to access it anytime you need to access it. So if you miss a class or if you need to review what we've been doing, you are going to be able to access it you're going to be able to get into your Blackboard, and you are going to be able to look at all the different activities that we did for the day, and you will be able to review them if you need to review them. So if you attend BUA, Baptist University of America, you have access to the campus database, and the campus database is called Blackboard. For the most part, most of us have already logged on in class, and we've navigated through the site to be able to see where the different activities are. And what you're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to go to the bulletin board, and you're going to go to the topics to be able to see what exactly we are doing in the classroom when we come to class. So one of the first things that I want to show you here is for week 3, which is this week, we're going to be focusing on grammar. Every week we're going to focus on grammar. But for this week, we're going to focus a little bit on the grammar. And we won't be doing grammar the entire time, but we definitely will be working on grammar exercises. And you will be able to watch a grammar lesson, and you're going to create a short paragraph using the grammar points that we study in the classroom. So we're going to focus on a skill, we're going to practice the skill, and then we're going to apply it in an activity throughout the sessions that we have in the class. Another thing we're going to be doing also is we're going to be focusing on questions. We're going to be questioning on present simple questions of the verb to be. So it's going to be 2 types of questions. You have a yes, no question, and then you have the WH questions, which are your what, when, where, why, and who. And so those are questions that we're going to be focusing on. Your yes, no questions, the only thing you really need to remember and focus on for your yes, no questions is that they're closed questions. They do not require much thinking. They just require you to be able to answer a question, yes or no. Are you sleepy? Yes, I'm sleepy. Are you tired? No, I'm not tired. It does not require you to do much thinking when you ask or when you answer a yes, no question. But the other questions that we're going to focus on are our WH questions, which are open questions. These open questions require you to think deeply. Why do you not want to go to school today? So you have to think about what you're going to say. And we're going to go over all of that in class this week. But one thing I do want you to remember, or I do want you to keep in mind, is that asking questions is a very important in conversations. A lot of the times, what I have done in the past, if I don't understand something or if I do not know what to answer, I ask a question. What do you mean by that? What does that look like? So those are just little tips that you can use. So in day 1, you're going to watch a video lesson, and then you're going to practice creating your own questions. That's the best part about asking the questions. You having to create. You do the thinking, and you get to have those answers that are different. They're deep questions with deep answers. So that's what we're going to be doing in the classroom for this week. We're also going to focus, one thing I do want to focus on here is I'm going to show you something that is going to help you understand the importance of what we do in class. So right here, what you have here are 3 different parts of a meal that we have. The very first one that you see right here, this one that you see right here, this is called your appetizer. And your appetizer is what you eat before you actually have your meal. Sometimes you have nachos and sometimes you have some nachos, sometimes you have some chips and queso, or sometimes you just might ask for some fried pickles, but that comes before your main meal. After you have your main meal, before you have your main meal, you have your appetizer, and then you have your main meal, which is your meat and potatoes. It's the bulk of what you're going to be eating for the evening or for your lunch. After you have your main meal, you have your dessert. And those are all important. All three of those are important when we're eating, when we're having a meal. But why am I putting this meal here? I want you to compare the parts of what we learn in ESL in a second language. When you're acquiring your second language, your appetizer is like your grammar. I mean, the grammar has to be there, but it's not the most important part in order for you to be able to become fluent in your second language, whatever language that may be. Your speaking and your listening are the main meal. So if you do not practice the speaking and the listening every day, you will not be able to apply the grammar that you've learned. And then of course you have your reading and your writing. Once you have your grammar and you've also applied it in your speaking and your listening, in your reading and your writing, you'll be able to see all of the different parts of the language acquisition that you have acquired. So keep this in mind, keep this picture when you want to think about how can I become more fluent in my second language. Remember, all three parts are important, but the main course meal is going to be your speaking and your listening. That is your meat and potatoes of your learning. I can give you grammar, 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 grammar all day long, every single day. But if you're not applying it in your speaking and your listening, you won't be able to become fluent in that second language. And so that is the main part of what we're going to be learning this week.